My name is Veronica. I am one of the work-based learning specialists for Grossmont College, along with Pavel Consuegra, and then our job placement coordinators, Erica Olmos and Vanessa Baron, and our career services supervisor, Renee Nasori, will be joining us today. Unfortunately, Erica Olmos will not be able to, but we do have a recording of her presentation or part of the presentation involved in our overall presentation today. So I'll start with our team. So again, I'm the work-based learning specialist, Veronica Middlebrooks, Pavel Consuegra. He and I work really closely together. And Erica Olmos and Vanessa Baron are the job placement coordinators. We're also thinking to change that name to job development. So again, they weren't really trying to promise the students placement, but doing some of the similar work as other colleges have been saying of doing job development and job readiness. And then we have our lovely career services supervisor, Renee Nasori, who collaborates with us on a consistent basis. We held a lot of events through the Career Center. And right now, most of our focus was targeting the CTE department. And so this year, we did make it a goal to expand some of our efforts to the campus entirely. All right. So for the work-based learning process for faculty engagement, so with faculty, when faculty requests an employer engagement for their class, either they would email either myself or Pavel. Sometimes we're connected through the Career Center. Career Center holds a bunch of events, and sometimes faculty come in and or bring their classrooms to those events, and then they'll request some of our services. They also respond to any event blasts that we send out. So, like the Career Expo that we had held was a really great way for people to get to know more about work based learning. We also go into our department meetings and we present about work based learning to our department chairs. And then any other events that CTE hosts, like our mixers, and you'll see some of those a little bit later of what those events were. And then, so how is a coordinator responding to the faculty request? So we, Pavel and I, have created a request form. So we send out that request form for the the faculty to request, and we also have it in our email signatures and soon to be on our website. So that way, if they research us, they can easily get that form, fill it out. It'll come to us, and then we'll go ahead and decipher. We have on there, what type of activity are they looking for? What department or what course curriculum are they teaching? What's their course number? So that way we can know what type of employer to connect them to. And then we'll meet with them an initial meeting via Zoom or phone call. And if we were on campus and it wasn't COVID, we would meet in person and we would figure out all the logistics for their specific class. And then as work-based learning, how are we connecting faculty to other opportunities for work-based learning that already exist? So we do one-on-one consultations with them, and then we follow up if there is an opportunity that is found from the region. We do try to connect with our regional directors and our partners who may have other resources available. And then we provide that information about any scheduled events that are held through the Career Center or other departments to the faculty who are wanting those opportunities in their classroom. And then, so how do we work with faculty to create new opportunities and projects? And how are these shared? So, if there's a regional activity that isn't available, one of myself or Pavel or collectively will meet with the faculty in person. We'll reach out to our own network of people that we're connected to. And then we'll say, hey, we have this organization or this company who's willing to come in and do a guest speaker presentation or set up a guest panel. And then we'll set up again that same process at the beginning of emailing them, asking them what is it exactly that they want for their classroom. And then any future plans will be coordinated with the department chairs in various divisions. This past academic year, from 2019 to 2020, we held a criminal justice webinar series. And so 257 attendees came to that. Their careers in the DA's office, criminal law, career insights, and understanding human rights. And so that was really, really well attended, and we had a variety of different people on that panel. And then I'll turn it over to Pavel to discuss the student engagement.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Veronica. Colleagues, thank you for the opportunity to just chat a little more about how our processes are functioning here at Grossmont College. So, with the student engagement, that's my favorite topic. Very similar to faculty. So, ideally, our students come through our program via referral from the professors in classroom when they meet with career counselors at the career center, if they are part of a specific student services program like Moja or EOPS or CalWORS with a veteran student. And of course, there's always that self-inquire where they are curious or they overhear about our services through a friend. So that's, basically, the general, process where they engage with us. And the way they do it is normally it could be via email, or if they walk into the career center where we have our career ambassadors that are providing daily basis workshops and different activities. And they also, could complete the student request form. So we have a version for the student, a version for the faculty and the community partners to request a specific web-based learning activities. The most popular one in this case is when they are attending one of our career technical education or career center events or through class presentation. So in general, we try to align our services to the campus efforts on topics about diversity, inclusion, and equity, right? So we always keep to in mind that following the appreciative coaching approach where it's create a safe, welcoming environment for students all the time. We utilize positive, open-ended kind of question like following the coaching, on this direction, okay, or case management approach. Help them formulate this vision of what they might become, so that we help them, kind of having that idea of what activity will benefit them more, right? Also, we help them, devise concrete, incremental, and achievable goals. That's something that area we work with them. And in that direction, we challenge the student to be proactive, to seek out different opportunities in work-based learning, working with them, like working with, with them all the way. And that's basically, that's that first approach. But what happens if after working with the student with different sections or multiple, one-on-one meetings, what happens if we cannot find a suitable activity for them? Let's go to the next slide. Good. Okay. Good. So if during the process there's no appropriate or specific work-based learning activities, in this case, what we'll do is to connect the student directly. When we say direct connection, that will be something in person, a personal email with a specific career counselor or a student services program, or a potential community partner, or of course with the region. So we have been able to create this solid network in Region 10 among all the work-based learning coordinator and job placement. So we always, if it's necessary, we seek out help. And the data, it's documented using our internal tracking system. So we ensure that all the student information is captured. We try to connect, if there's a specific activity, connect to specific class or professor. We include both the faculty, the potential faculty involved, and the student. And then we include, information like student, their demographic information, what type of activity they have been participating before. So that's, give us the idea in aiming to the next level of with SG21 that is coming very soon. So again, we are working on creating this robust system for a more robust system for tracking with the SG21. But at this point, our internal tracking system is very effective. In each of the presentation in classroom, we have our assessment, and we share that information with the career center, because most of the time the events are happening via career center. We are very fortunate to have it, one with a very solid and different activities. So that's how we share all this data and have it ready for reporting, right? So next we are going to hear from Erica Almos. And excellent, great.
All right, so it's going to play on the slide. So please let me know, give me a thumbs up if you all can hear Erica's voiceover.
Hi, everyone. My name is Erica Olmos. I am the Career Services and Internship Coordinator, as well as one of the job developers at Grossmont College. I'm so sorry I couldn't be with you today, but we've prepared a couple of slides to go over the processes of student employment. We work very closely together with our work-based learning specialists. And for the job development piece, I meet with students and I conduct an initial advising meeting. This initial advising meeting is really getting to know the student, understanding why they chose their major. What is it that they want to do when they graduate college? What is it that they want to do in their field of study? I ask them questions like, are you willing to relocate? Are you willing to travel? What is your salary expectation? What is it that made you choose this major? I review their resume. I also review their LinkedIn profile if they have one. I do a little bit of career coaching. And upon me reviewing their resume and them redoing the resume with my feedback, I then conduct a mock interview with them. I want to make sure that they are very well prepared before I send them off to an employer for a real job interview. So I want to make sure that they are well rounded and very well prepared for this next step. We added the Griffin Works internship program flyer here because the same rules apply to the Griffin Works internship students. So the same processes are developed with them as well. So some of the resources that we are using to identify work-based learning and job opportunities for our students are that, we do present work-based learning to students. So, our staff does a wonderful job with that. Staff connects with students during one-on-one conversations, and our work-based learning staff forwards interested students to job coordinators to prepare them before introducing them to employers. So if Veronica or Pavel meet with the student and they uncover that they are really looking for a job in their field of study because they are very close to graduating, and they want to move to the next step, then they forward those students to myself and to Vanessa. And Vanessa and I together help develop the student and help them find these job leads. And if, of course, the opportunity is found, how do we connect that student with the opportunity? Well, we reach out to faculty and connect with students. For example, if I have a certain company that is looking for an accountant, the company, the HR individual reaches out to me and says, Erica, I need your top accounting student, and I don't have anybody in my caseload at the moment, then I will reach out to the department dean or director or professor, and I ask, please send me your top 3 or 5 students in your accounting program if they are looking for employment. And so our faculty, send those students over to me, and I do the same, right? As I have that initial advising meeting, I review their resume, I conduct a mock interview. And then based on student skills and experience, we introduce job opportunities. I do send weekly job leads to my students under my caseload. And then we introduce job board tools and, how to search for jobs, how to, receive preparation for the next step, which is, the interview, which is really what, they're looking for. And, if the opportunity is not found, we are contacting students for additional opportunities. For example, we email via CCN. We email our students. We reach out to them via social media. We connect with former work-based learning students. We, talk to faculty, other faculty. We, do a lot of class presentations. We connect with our work-based learning coordinator team and connect with regional directors to find opportunities. We realize that during this pandemic, it has been very challenging, and we know and understand that students need more exposure to work experience, job shadowing, industry tours, volunteer opportunities to understand their chosen industry, their field of study a little better. But we are working collectively and working very hard as a team to, better assist our students.
All right, so now we'll hear from Vanessa.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to be talking about some of the student tools that we have developed. We want to make sure that our students have the resources, they start developing the skills that they need, and they get the training also that they need in order to succeed. So one of the development tools that we have put in place is CCN. So we encourage all of their students to apply, and not only just sending them out to create an account, we do create information sessions that are done monthly and also by appointment to make sure that they know how to navigate CCN. Is there a question that they need versus, like, for example, do they have a question about their resume? Do they need a chronological resume versus a functional resume? What is it the experience that they need to show versus the other education that they have? So we want to make sure that they really guide through the process and navigate through the system using the right tools. There's a lot of, as many of you already know, that there's podcasts, there's articles, there's a lot of information out there. And if the information is actually useful for them, great. However, that's how we also funnel some of the other programs that we have. We'll talk more about it. Right on the right-hand side, you could see one of the internal marketing graphics that we did, and that's also in explaining step-by-step on how to apply for CCN and what to do in there. We also refer our students to other sessions that we have within our programs and within our departments, events such as CT events that we create, employer events, panel events. We want to make sure that they get an idea of what the industry is like. They hear from professionals of what they're looking for. What is it that they're looking for in a candidate? What is it that the professional field is looking for right now during the pandemic? We also collaborate with the Career Center on, they put together 21st century skill workshops, which is really good for the student to actually train and find the skills that they need in order to pursue a career in that field that they want. We work with the career ambassadors, make sure that they understand what is it that they need when they come in and request for an appointment, and then we refer them to the career counseling also. Next slide. This is our process for employer outreach. You could see the existing employer outreach, our new employer, and then how we collaborate with our members. So with our existing employer outreach, we currently work with a set of employers. However, if we do feel that there is an opportunity that a student can benefit from, and we know that the employer is offering that opportunity, we contact them. However, if we have not heard from them in a few months, we send them a quick email or a phone call to make sure that, especially now during the pandemic, since there's a lot of transitions or people have moved from phones to emails to different contact numbers, we want to make sure that that information is updated not only in our CCN information tools, but also within our internal data. We also look for, just because of course the pandemic and management changes, we want to look under their website to make sure that there's an opportunity. We contact the employer. We want to make sure that they post all that information, all the opportunities, and we send the message over to the student to make sure that the employment is available. And then other opportunities to collaborate, such as getting them into a panel or collaborating with them with an event through CTE or other programs or other services that we have, or the Career Center. For the new employer contact, we usually we sit down virtually and we go through all the services and connect, making sure that they connect with the students. The flow the process kind of flows. We do encourage them to create an account with CCN to make sure that they activate that account and they post on their own. However, we know that sometimes timing is not of the right essence. So we want to make sure that if we do see a posting either through a job board or an outside job board or their own website, that we post it right, or we with their permission, or we give them an email or a phone call to make sure that it's okay to post it. We also talk about the opportunities in recruiting and what are the best practices to reach out to students. And then also, this is really important that we've seen with the employers, is that not only do they look, so and a potential employee might look very well in a job description. So a lot of the students might say, I'm a right candidate, I have the right education, I have potential. However, what is it that their employer is looking for in a candidate? So what is the job description versus the right candidate they're looking for? And then that kind of flows into if there's any other activities within establishing the relationship. Once I talk to them, then we identify the new employers. And then, for example, if there is an opportunity through to provide an internship, then Erica, my coworker, will come in and provide all that information if that's a paid internship, or if there's any other opportunities to come in, we provide information, since she is really working really close with career services. Next slide. So during the pandemic, we understand that students are struggling to find jobs. So we've been seeing a lot of employers with hiring freezes or posting jobs that then they have to take down because they can't support the timing or the monetary compensation. So we want to make sure that students have the opportunities to apply for jobs, and because they need to pay bills. And so we have great opportunities such as Amazon here. We can see a picture of Amazon. Jackie, our contact here, does info sessions every month. So, and they would give them an opportunity for bringing in students from Grossmont College, and she goes through the process step by step, and going step by step, meaning like if there's any requirements for any visas, where do they need to find an employment that actually is something that they're looking for, and they're just not driving. If they're not comfortable with driving, maybe they're comfortable with selecting groceries into some of the locations. And so there's a lot of feedback that she provides, and then she does give priority to her students, which we really appreciate. So we are working with Amazon and other employers to make sure that they bring those virtual information center sessions during the pandemic. And then if there's any opportunities out there for internships, for Amazon right now, they don't have any, but for other employers, then they will let us know. Thank you. I think I'm going to turn it over to Pavel.
Thank you, Vanessa. Well, just briefly would like to summarize some of the data collection, point that we have been addressing during the presentation. And this is an example of like a highlights of 2020. It was a hell year for all the region, especially for our students. But even though we were able to deliver some of these main, activities through our CTE programs, starting with the summer camps, or Summer Career Academy idea. We have different mixers, different workshops, industry panels, class demos, workshops, 21st century skill workshops. So in all around these activities, we always been sure to collect the faculty work-based learning, requests, like the information. We also keep track of this student requests, or our one-on-one meetings that are gaining more popularity right now, especially, with the situation students are in need of employment or any type of hands-on, activity. We divide it, and we recently were able to complete a full array of Monday to Friday appointment system on top of our career counselors are doing. So remember, we are not career counselors, we are just coaches, we are advisors, we are employment developing specialists that helping the student get into those hands-on opportunities. We are again collecting on the workshops, guest speakers activities, all aligned to SG21, or the city event, hybrid event, and also including our mobile lab student experience, that when we were on campus in person, the mobile lab was a way to showcase what our CT courses were all about. Students were able to to connect with some faculty, with some other peers or ambassadors, and learn more about different short programs, and even register right there. In addition, we also organize our employment and community member advisory boards meetings, that we also keep track of that, and hopefully that help us create more awareness on campus. And as Veronica mentioned in the beginning, one of our main goals this year is to expand work-based learning. Now that we have anchored all the services in CT, now we want to go abroad on campus and continue supporting other colleges in our region, of course, and our students who are also taking classes in from us. So now will be the time for Renee, Career Center Director. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pavel and team. Again, my name is Renee Nassari. It's a pleasure to be here. I supervise our Career Center, Student Employment, and Adult Reentry Center. Every presenter you heard from today, from G House, from Grossmont College, plays a very critical role in the success of our team, our campus. So it's very exciting to be able to collaborate and work, regularly together. We meet often. Our wonderful Dean, Ayala, brings us together. So the communication channels are very clear. We're up to date and very supportive of one another, which I think is very healthy all around for our success. As you could see here from the illustrations, we're able to get pretty innovative and creative with how we're delivering and promoting a lot of our services. So right now, while our campus is closed for student services and opportunities for students to engage with us, we're very much open virtually. So we've been able to shift and offer just about all of our services virtually. So here are some examples. As you could see, we have our CTE month. We're highlighting lots of informational sessions, lots of virtual engagements to connect with students, to support them, get them up to date, to make sure that they're feeling supported, virtually getting them connected with everything that they need to know in the current moment, and much more looking ahead. We're able to, work closely with our work-based learning specialists, our career job developers, to really invite a variety of professionals, such as Daniela So, to share their day in the life and really introduce students to an opportunity to get to know that profession, that industry early on, as part of their career exploration as well. And, so this allows the students to have that Q&A opportunity in a very raw, informal fashion. We've also hosted many business mixers, professional panels, again, to introduce students to a variety of those events and activities, and really get students excited about careers early on. We also recently hosted our first virtual job fair. Our career expos typically every fall. So it was really exciting to be able to put something like that together for our students virtually. We're able to hire a number of students. I believe we had well over 400 students in attendance this past fall. So it's really exciting to be able to deliver a lot of these services and opportunities for our students virtually, and letting them know that we're still here and we're very much open virtually and ready to serve and get students exposed to all of these opportunities virtually, so that they can get that experience and connection and begin networking early on. So it's really exciting. We're all intertwined with career and workforce. And it's always a pleasure to work and serve our students. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. So we'll just leave this open for our questions, or if you all have any questions for us.
I don't have a question, but I do want to give a shout out to the Grossmont team. They're an amazing group, aren't they? Shout out.
Any questions for the Grossmont team?
Actually, I had a question. I noticed in some of the materials, like your branding looks really, really impressive when promoting the events, or like your internship program called Griffin Works. I don't know, how do you all sort of work on the branding piece of it?
Well, really, honestly, it's just having the students and faculty kind of feel like this is home for them. So any chance that we can get to really make sure that the entirety of our campus is represented in whatever it is that we're advertising or putting out there in marketing. We understand we have really, really cool people on our team that understand marketing and understand how to connect with our audience. And so whether it's student facing or faculty facing, we really, or employer facing, we really want to stress the importance that this is a family, and that we really just want to make sure that everyone included in at the table with this is feeling like this is beneficial for everyone involved. So marketing is really at this high top forefront of a lot of the things that we do and how we push it out.
And also, Jason, and colleagues, it helps, in one sense, to shape the culture of campus. Because if from the hands-on, point of view, we are, being or taking into consideration this equity and diversity. So it helps. It has other programs, to be more mindful when they also do their events and their advertise. So having taking the student into consideration. Remember, we are one of the colleges that have the largest refugee, population in the region. So, geographically itself, it's located in East County, San Diego. There are some other groups of students that are part of our community, and we need to keep that in mind. So they feel identified as one of them, and that's one of the reasons that recently our college was selected among those 100 college universities in the country in terms of diversity, is because trying to keep each department is doing its piece to keep that in mind and make the students feel welcome, right? To our program and to activities, so that keep them more attractive. So.
And if I may add to that, our career ambassadors, our student workers play a pretty instrumental role in the success of our work. So we're constantly connecting with them, engaging with them, sharing, a variety of ideas, approaches, marketing, flyers, whatnot, to really gain their input. Because at the end, it's really comes down to like that peer-to-peer support. And so they do weigh in a lot in, the effectiveness of our work and approach. So as Veronica and others, Pavel shared, it's definitely a collective effort on our team. And we definitely weigh in, meet, weekly to make sure we're all on the same page and information is being shared, communication across. So absolutely.
You know, I was going to ask it or share one of the things that I was really impressed with when we met the time before when we were prepping for this was the resource page that you guys had created, or like the landing page where I believe you send faculty to it. Would one of you be willing to share briefly about that?
Kevin, are you talking about the Canvas shell?
Yes.
So one of them could log in if they have access to
Yeah, I think
log
I have.
in. Yeah, you should be able to log in. If not, I can log in. But yes, we use Canvas, all the resources that faculty want to share and collaborate on. They put them in Canvas. Anybody in the team adds stuff to the Canvas shell. And so they get regular updates whenever somebody adds something new. So that's there for them to use whenever they want to. But maybe Veronica can pull it up.
Yeah, no, thank you, Javier. I appreciate that. I know that everybody does something like this or has like a different tweak to how they store or compile their resources. And I just really appreciated or liked seeing that you had that one place where they could go to receive the necessary information or documents they needed.
Yeah. But yeah, this is where we have our, like we mentioned before, it is really a CTE focused, but we are definitely making sure that we can branch this out to everyone. But this is pretty much our
If you scroll down, sorry, guys. Sorry, kids in the kitchen. Resource page, click on that.
yeah, we
I
just,
think Veronica, if you click on the resources,
there it is. Scroll too fast. And then we have our division resources. So, you know, they can kind of browse through here if they're looking for um, pandemic or syllabus support. We have our February CT month activities, our big push coming from the Vision Resource Center. So this year we had our Flex Week. A lot of that was held through our Vision Resource Center. So there's a lot of information of how to switch over to that and use that. You know, just some coping mechanisms and student engagement tips and tricks. And then our Career Center events are housed here as well.